Hi, welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on Dungeons and Patterns. It's a role-playing game, originally live action. Now we're doing it in Elm. We've been at it a while. And what we're up to is we've got the notion of several puzzle types. And at at first I made them maybes. So maybe a dialogue puzzle, maybe an answers puzzle, started in maybe an ordering puzzle. And I realized like that's not really the right model. Really, I want one puzzle type, and it might be one of dialogue, multi-answer, ordering, whatever. But that's a shift, and so we've been working through the consequences of turning it into a single puzzle type with sub. I don't know. It's a sum type. It's kind of like an enum or kind of like a union, in that we can have one of those several types. Okay, so let's go to the IDE. All right. So where we left off, we had the notion of the puzzles and how they're being handled. Let's see. Where did we leave this? Um, Maybe it was in message we were working. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. So we finished the other day this notion of the single pattern. So before we had some methods that like no matter what type puzzle it was, it could it could figure out the single pattern guess, if that made sense. Now we've switched it around so you get a puzzle and it's one of three types. We got a couple more we're going to add. No puzzle, answers, or a dialogue. And if it's a dialogue puzzle, then we can do all the dialogue puzzle stuff to figure out the guesses and so on. So um, we got the same analogy for there's a type of puzzle where you have it's really like you're in a dungeon, so there's three walls you can see and there's writing on each wall, and you're supposed to guess the pattern for each wall. Okay, so we've started the conversion. We now get the puzzle, and just if it's not a puzzle at all or there's a dialogue puzzle, we don't really handle it, so we leave everything alone. This event is triggered when you select one of the multi-answer boxes. Okay, and now we we just converted, so we use answers puzzle. We don't even look at it yet. We still got all the old stuff in place. All right, now one of the things that's in place is um, let's see. So you got the this stuff. So you're getting the guesses, multi guesses from the current room. Well, rooms don't always have multi guesses, and what are you going to do? Well, we're going to build up anyway an array of these things, and then update the one. This is the selection, so we're updating whatever index you're at with the new guess you've made. Then we decide if the room is solved, and then at the end we're going to either, well, we're going to update the guesses so we keep track. If you leave the room and come back, you've still got the same stuff guessed. And we've updated the solution. Have you solved this room? Well, notice who we're asking. We're asking the game. And I would really like to ask the answers puzzle. It seems like an answer puzzle ought to be able to tell you if the correct answers are there. So we're working through the consequences there. Then let's see what else is. What's the yellow here? Oh, this. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. Then the other thing I saw as I was kind of closing out the other day, I noticed, hey, correct dialogue rooms is no longer called. So this is something that existed um, in the case for the dialogue one, and here you have the same kind of thing that I was telling you about. We look at room.answer, and if that thing comes back, either comes back nothing, it's a maybe, so a maybe answer, right? Because if you don't have a dialogue puzzle, you probably don't have a dialogue puzzle answer. But we ask for the answer, and if it's the wrong type, it comes back with nothing, which gives us an empty set. And if it's the right type, we see if the answer is right, and if it is, we make a singleton out of the room. Otherwise, we have an empty set, and then we can union this coming back in. But we're not using it anymore, so another piece goes away. All right, here's our correct multi-answers rooms. And again, same. Okay, in this one we do look up the room type and decide whether um, empty set or is everything right, and we should do it. We should accept it. Okay, but I think if we go back and see what we did up here, where's my updating single guess? Oh, it's on model. Okay. I'm not quite sure I got everything quite right, but this piece that says is solved, okay, um, that seems significant. I mean, it makes sense. The dialog puzzle knows if it's solved, okay, and it's kind of like where are we going to put the control flow that it happens. You know, that's the problem with booleans, right? Every one of them, if you're going to make any use of it, you have to test it and have an if statement and all that. And in our case, the if statement's buried down there. All right, now let's see if we can ask if this room is solved. I'd like to do something very similar. I want to ask the answer puzzle. Okay, this room if solved. Well, let's just try is solved. And I don't know. This is kind of halfway between. I'm kind of refactoring, but it's not any. It's not something you're going to find on page 117 of the refactoring manual. And so it's a little. I don't know. It's a little more fraught. Okay. We do have tests. I don't know if I've still got them running. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're still typing here. All right. So I want, by analogy, I'm going to say I should be able to ask answer puzzle is solved and give it some stuff. Give it some stuff to work with. So answers puzzle is solved. And what do we give it? Well, I guess we're going to have to give it the updated guesses. Okay, updated guesses type is... Not going to tell me. Yeah, add time annotation. Okay. Array of pattern name. Okay, so let's see what the order we used up here is. We'll use the same one. Updated guesses. And we also gave it probably the puzzle. Yes. And the puzzle is here. Okay. Now it's red because it just flat out doesn't exist. Yeah, no, thank you. Dialog puzzle is solved. No, okay. I appreciate you trying. Okay, so now you see here we have a class with data and no functions. So, I mean, it's not a class, it's an Elm module, but it raises that same flag in my mind, like, hey, if you don't have any methods or functions in here, like, is this just a little data bag? Okay, so is solved. We already know it's an array of pattern name. Okay, going to an answers puzzle, going to Boolean. Okay, and is solved of guesses puzzle equals. Okay, now let's go here. Well, where do we get is solved? Oh, sorry, let's go here. Okay, so today we go to game.correct multi-answers room. Okay, and let's go there and see what it's doing. Okay, well, by the time it gets down to this case, it knows it's going to call answers all correct with the puzzle answers and the guesses. Okay, so let's copy this function over. It takes nothing that has anything to do with game, so we'll just copy it. And notice it's all fairly primitive types. I mean, it does use our pattern name. Okay, so I'm going to put this function in here as well. And this is answers all correct. And I may fold this at some point, but answers all correct. The list of pattern names is coming from answers and puzzle.answers. And the array of pattern name is the guesses. I don't know if I like that order. And we're going to return that. Okay, so this list.map2 is sometimes called zip in other languages anyway. It takes two lists and calls the function it's given on on two items. Okay, so in this case we'll make a pair out of it and then pipe that to something that does list.all, which checks that everything is true. Okay, so it'll return a Boolean true or false. All right, so here's is solved. Let's export it. Well, I like to be a little pickier here. Okay, is solved, and then back to model. No, back to messages. Answers puzzle is solved. Now we can import this. Okay, so we've got is solved. Now correct multi-answer rooms. It's going through all this stuff. Okay, let's see how we did it in the other case. Okay, we have this updating single guess. I still don't like it. I'm going to say things a different way and see how that goes. Okay, so if you've solved it, okay, I think I want to say your, let's call it new solved equals if is solved, then we want to take the set model.solved I'm just going to put them on both sides for a moment here, else model.solved. Okay, so one of these is not right. But what I am saying is if you've solved it, we want to add in this room. Okay, and this room is model.currentRoom. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to go look because I just don't remember this stuff. All right, insert comparable set gives us a set. Okay, so if this is done, we want to do set.insert model.currentRoom in model.solved, and that's our new solution. Otherwise, we're not changing anything. We'll keep model as solved. Now here, I'll just comment that for a moment. Okay, now I just want to do new solved because I know it's either included the room or not included the room. Okay, so again, it's kind of like, where's this if statement going to live? Well, here I'm kind of claiming the right place is in this code that's deciding, is handling the guess. Okay. Let's see it run. Should pass. Oh, game. You're trying to expose correct dialog rooms. Oh, correct dialog rooms. And we just saw that one's going away. Okay, the test pass. Let's go over here and run this thing. And I just know my way through the dungeon to get to a room that's like that, like this one. And the answers are visitor, decorator, and chain of responsibility. I didn't even let you read them. Okay, but notice it's all acting correctly here. Let me select them and update it. It tracked whether it was all correct or not all correct. Once it's all correct, it changes from red to green. All right, and that is what we're after for this thing. But we've pulled out, let's go find this thing. This thing's no longer used, and I think this thing is ugly, so I'm glad. But I mean, the logic is still there, right? I mean, that down at the bottom there was this if everything is right, then use the singleton room or this set empty. That was the thing we were unioning. Now I'm just doing a set insert. Okay. Now this one, let's see who's referencing that. A bunch of game tests. Well, let's go take those. When all answers match. Okay. I'm going to cut them out of game. I'm going to paste them in AnswersPuzzle tests, which may not even exist because it was such an empty class. Right? It does not exist. New module AnswersPuzzle test. Okay. And so if you ever wonder if, let me paste these while I still have them handy. Okay. If I have a mind like a sieve, can I program? Like, oh, yes. I do it all the time. Describe that. And we need to import. Import AnswersPuzzle. I guess we gotta have array here. Well, let me do it this way. Okay. Game.answers all correct. No. I'm going to put this here for a moment. I don't really want to expose this function. I don't even know if it should be a function. Import array. Import expect equals. And closing brace. Okay. And what's your complaint? Sweet is never used. Is that true in every test? It must have a little smarts there. Okay. Alrighty. So at least for now, I've got that all exposed. Let's make sure tests run. Okay, not quite. Game, you were trying to expose correct multi-answers rooms. I think we just deleted that, right? Well, we can get rid of this too. Okay. So, should run. I keep saying that. I'll be right one of these times, huh? All right. Let's focus on this one for a minute. I'm just trying to get this a little smoother. So, do I want the answers first? Well, and this isn't even answers, really. It's guesses for starters. Guesses. Okay, so guesses all correct. Puzzle answers guesses. I don't know. I feel like the name order should swap there, but maybe I should just inline this whole thing anyway. Well, it sort of communicates something. I mean, maybe that's not so bad. Guesses all correct. Puzzle answers and guesses. It's all guesses and puzzle. That makes sense to me. I'm going to swap the order. And don't I wish I could do that automatically? Okay. Same thing over here. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Is it solved? Oh, read this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think I like the helper method, but I don't want to expose that. Okay, so what do I want to do? Well, I want to pass in an answers puzzle. Okay, so let's make one. Answers puzzle. And then guesses first, content second. Okay, the answers puzzle, and then I pipe it to is solved, passing the array. Is solved, passing the array. I expect true. Okay, let's do the same thing here. That. Should pass. Yep. Okay, now this is no longer being referenced. Let's take it out of here. Check that. Okay. Well, let's check in. I gotta make sure my to-do is not lying. Address multi-answer message handling. Well, this is still part of that. I guess I can live with that for a message. And if you recall, this blip, commit -f, the to-do head is peeling off the first line of this file. All right. So we're still doing this refactoring. Is the big picture. And today's episode 32. That's the big picture. Okay. So what we did was we pulled answer checking down to AnswersPuzzle. Okay. Now let's go back here. Got a little more cleanup. There's still stuff I don't like here. I mean, I don't know. All this seems like a lot of work. And the single pattern, model.updating single guess. Let's go here. Updated guesses. Oh, it's the whole model. Well, if I had this on the message side, updated guesses is that thing. New model is the original model. Well, it's really model with guesses equals updated guesses and solved equals new model dot solved. Okay. So I'm peeling back some of this. I pulled this back. Now I want to get this thing. Okay, is correct comes in. I want to do the same thing I did in the other one basically. So I'm going to say new solved. New solved is, well, if is solved, then set.insert, the value is model current room, and the old one is model.solved. Otherwise, it's really just model.solved. Okay. And this is going to be new solved. Okay, so in effect, I'm pulling back some of that code, and it's simpler in this context. Update guesses. I'm debating if I should inline this one. Insert key value. I think it's okay. All right, so this should build. It should pass. Okay, and then model now. That's no longer called. Let's get that out of here. Okay. And should still be okay. Yes. Whoops. No. Updating single guess. Probably should use the refactoring tool for that one. All right. So we pulled guess single pattern. So this one, what we've done for this is a refactoring. I'll say inline code back to guess single pattern. Okay. Push that. Okay. So I don't know. I do this process. I think of it, I call it sweeping, you know, just kind of like brushing through, when you have to sweep the house or whatever, just kind of go back through everything and try and make sense of it. Okay. So I'm going to let that be and just focus here. It's a little long. And what do you have to have? You have to have the model, current room, current guest solved. I don't know. It all seems like stuff that you have up here. Now maybe it's, I don't know, is this model behavior? That's the question. Okay, so what are you doing? You're giving me the, am I going to re-extract this? I don't know. I've got the model. I need the guess. I guess that's all I need is the guess. I hope I'm not in a loop here. Okay. So what I would like to do then is say model maybe it's guess single pattern. How do you do it how does the model update when you guess a single pattern? I guess that's at least as much of a model thing as a message thing. I mean, half the references here are either model stuff or they're the guess. Okay, so I really hope I'm not ending up in the same place I just was. Okay, let's focus. Okay. I guess I'm re-extraction. So I'm hoping it comes out differently, and we'll see. So refactor extract model.guess single pattern. Okay. All right, now I can do this stuff. Right. Let's say the decision is that it's a dialog puzzle. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. Okay. Update guess single pattern. Guess single pattern. Okay. It's going to take some stuff. It's going to be something. Okay. So now I want it to return, well, it's going to have to take the guess, which is a pattern name, and it's going to have to take the old model, and it's going to return a model. Okay. So the guess and the model. Okay. Oh, and the puzzle. Depending on these things, is that the right thing? Every time I put a dependency in, I gotta wonder that. Okay. So the result is just the model. So let's just return a model, no command. Okay. So let's see how this looks. Okay. So if you have a guess in a puzzle for this with this model, I'm going to develop some updated guesses. I'm going to figure out if you've solved it. If you have, then I'm going to give the new model the new solved set. In other words, I'm going to keep the one I have. And in the end, I'm going to return you a model with guesses and solved. Okay, I think that's an improvement. Okay, so what we're going to do here then, we're going to return model.guess single, what do I call it? Pattern. And it takes the guess, the dialog puzzle, and the model. And also command.none. I'm guessing there's no import yet. Okay. All right, save that. Okay, should be running. Good. Just to make sure. Okay. All right. I think that's a good direction. So we're saying we're going to take the puzzle for the current room and the current game, and we're going to figure that out. And once we know we have a dialogue puzzle, we're going to go ask the model to take the guess into account and give us a new model. I think I'm happy. Okay. Now, I think the next step is the same thing. Again, we got, well, wait a minute. It's just puzzle length. Okay, I don't think that belongs in game. But we'll straighten that out. Okay, so updated guesses. Here we have the index and the guess. Answers puzzle. Yeah, I think we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so let's take this. Just go down here. So this is guess multi-pattern in model. Guess multi-pattern. Well, it certainly returns a model. And guess multi-pattern of something equals this. Okay. Well, we know the last argument is model. Up here we did guess puzzle model. So guess index guess puzzle model. Let's make sure the order. Okay. Int pattern name answers puzzle and a model. It's a lot of arguments. Okay. Puzzle. Okay. So that should be an error. Okay, good. You get the number of answers. Update the guesses. We answer is solved. If it is, we do this, and we return model with the stuff and no command none. That should be fine. Okay. And now guess multi-pattern. Okay, so here we're going to return guess multi-pattern. Actually, it's going to be like the other one. Guess multi-pattern, index, guess, answers puzzle, and model with command.none. Okay. And that's model.guess multi-pattern. Okay, model. Guess multi-pattern. Oh, I still have the old version. Should run, yep, okay. And let's try that same formatting. Okay. Have I got import issues? Yes. Okay. Take out the dead comment. Guess multi-pattern is here. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Let's pull this down. Okay, so the fuzzy middle, I guess, between game and puzzle, game, room, and maybe view all need some updates from this. It's progress, but like this just feels off to me. But we're due for a break, so let's take 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll come back and see if we can make this go a little easier. I mean, I think we got the dialogue, we got the puzzle. We should be able to get the length pretty easily. So I think we'll do that right after break. All right, see you in a couple. Hi, welcome back. All right, let's see. So I want to simplify this. I'm bugged that we have an array and a list, so that's another issue. But let's see. So the number of answers right now, we do game answers puzzle length. Okay, you can see it's worrying about the other kinds of stuff. So this one's sort of the intermediate. But notice we know we have an answers puzzle, so the length is really that. All right, so let's go back here. I don't need current room, model, game. I don't need all that stuff. I just need to know the length of my answers. Okay. Now, why do I need that? Well, okay, the issue here is when you're making your first guess, you don't have any. And so we're saying, let's get, if we get the current guesses and you don't have any, then we're going to create a default guesses for you that's the number of answers, and we'll just put question marks in there. Nobody will know what those mean, right? They're not in the set. They're not a true pattern name, I guess. And then we do array.set. So it would be nice. All right, let's make sure this is working first. Okay. Answers puzzle length. So refactor inline answers puzzle length. Okay, and I could have done that more smoothly, but all right. Tests ran, so let's take this out and let's check up here. Okay, and they should still be run. Cancel. Should still be running. Yes. Okay. So answers puzzle length goes away. Okay. Here's another one. Oh, that's the decoder, JSON decoder. Okay. All right. What else we got going on here? So could I get rid of this somehow? And could I switch to a list instead of an array? Well, I guess it comes down to the methods you have on a list. The problem is you can't really replace items on a list. Find out whether member contains a value. Okay, well, that's something. Combine. Yeah, it just doesn't lend itself to kind of direct indexing, doing things by index position. And the mechanics of it inside, right? I mean, it's like you'd have to tear apart the tail of the list, put a new, I mean, you've got the head, the elements you care about to replace, and the tail. You want to keep the tail, generate a replacement for this, attach the head, pop all those things in and get them over onto here. It's just not designed for that. I guess you could fool with this and do something. I mean, I can get the index item and do that. I suppose I could map them as dictionary instead of a list. But that tells me array is probably the right thing. Now, I guess it was on AnswersPuzzle. Then that makes me wonder, should this be a list? And the reason is I have to do this translation to try and get them matched up to each other. And, I'm converting my array to a list so I can call list.map too. I don't think array has a map equivalent. Well, it has map. Yeah, I don't really think it's better there. Okay, so I guess I'll leave this type. Inline answers puzzle length. Okay. Did we check that in? No. All right. Okay, so now model. It knows how to do this work. Guess puzzle model. All right, let's one more little bit of. I think I want to move model to the end here. Okay. model. 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 And by analogy, okay. Good. And this is another refactoring. Change argument. Let's see. Mark it a refactor. Rearrange argument order for guess single pattern and guess multi-pattern. Okay, address multi-answers message handling. I believe we've done that. Okay, so let's take that down here. All right. And the consequence that we have is now we've decoded this as a pattern instead of pulling out the pieces. And so we don't need to consult, we don't need to have these functions lying around that sort of like figure out what kind of thing it is and return the right type. And then we decode it as a just or a nothing, you know, all that is simpler. We just said, let's figure out the the puzzle type. And once we know that, we can update the model with the guess in that puzzle type. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside. He's no longer pinned. He's out of the game. Okay. Now, for now. What else we got? Should AnswersPuzzle know whether it's solved? Well, we did that. Test judge pattern answers. That's another one I'm not so sure about. So what this is doing is looking up, basically it's doing the translate of the message, like answer default. Guess. I don't think this is really the guess. This is really more like, maybe this is not being used right. Okay, this is back in the view class. So when we're trying to write, so when you make a guess in a dialog puzzle, we put out text to tell you if you're right or wrong. Okay, so let's get back to judge. So you have your guess. If you're equal to the default model, this is weird. And we know the right answer too. Oh, this is just so weird. Okay, so if the default is like, I don't know. Let's go back to this page. We'll go to literally just about any other puzzle. Okay. What's the pattern? Well, usually you start out, I don't know. All right. I'm going to go to a room we haven't been in. Whoops. We're getting to the parts of the puzzle that aren't really done. Okay, let's do this. What's the pattern? I don't know. When you start in a room, you don't know the pattern. You haven't said yet. Okay, let's make sure changing this. Let me start again. Changing this to prototype is right. So this is generating that text. And make sure this is not, yeah, it's still I don't know. Okay, cool. All right. So this, right? I mean, that's kind of not our decision. I don't know if this is the most important thing to fix at this point, but I just want to put it here. It's kind of a tricky one, right? How do we judge what's going on? I mean, this translation, oh, I just don't know. The translation is stuff coming from the dungeon. Okay, let's get up to the top. Okay, up at the top we have a section here where we've got like the headers, action header, answer header. This should probably be like single answer header. I don't know, right or sorry. That's the message you get depending on what the state of your guess is. Now, the dialog puzzle is not aware of the default answer. So that's a little funny right there, maybe. Maybe it should be. But who should give you back this string, right? The string to me is a UI thing. And maybe all right, let me go into DialogPuzzle. It knows this dialogue and it knows the actual answer. It has no idea what the rest of the things are. Okay, so what I'm wondering is like the responsibility of, maybe it's DialogPuzzle, maybe it's something else, but maybe the model. I think the model should be able to say, what's the state of the current guess in the current room? And if it got these three answers, answer default, answer right, answer wrong, or maybe versions of them, then it could map this to that, and it wouldn't be doing this judgment. Okay, but I'm gonna leave that for now, I think. Okay, refactor series of maybe a puzzle to be a puzzle type. Okay, that we've done. I think we left that as the overall. Yeah. Okay, I think we're done with this. And then how about, should judge pattern answers know how to know how to judge? Or should it translate what a puzzle tells it. Or what? Okay, leave it open. Okay. We'll save that for now. I'll leave it as a future task. I want to get back to this ordering puzzle. So this is a new puzzle type. Let's see. We have in model. No, is it in game? It's in room. Okay. In room, this used to be maybe dialogue puzzle and followed by maybe answers puzzle. And then we said, okay, we want an ordering puzzle. Now we put maybe ordering puzzle. It's like, this can't be right. Every new puzzle changes the way a room works. No, a room should know it has a puzzle. Your puzzle can be one of several choices, but there's only one puzzle in the room for this kind of dungeon. And so we left this, but it's kind of we don't want it. We want to extend puzzle to know about ordering puzzle. Okay, or permutation. It's really a permutation puzzle because we also want a combination puzzle. Let's add that. Okay, so an ordering puzzle, and let's see what we did on the JSON front. Well, okay, puzzle decoder can't decode an ordering puzzle because it doesn't know anything about it. All right. Add arrangement to room. I don't think that's what we want. All right. I think what we want to do is deal with an ordering puzzle. And already that makes me hesitate on this one. Where to go? Game. Oh, is it view? We look at them all. Yeah, that. Dialogue for a room. Answer for a room. That just looks weird to me still. Maybe we're not ready to do ordering puzzle. I don't know. I'm gonna say, yeah. We got to come back to this. Okay, let's check out our room.answer and room.dialog sensible. Okay. I'm feeling like maybe not, because these are designed to know it's the dialogue puzzle, and I think we've done that other ways. Okay, so this focus thing really. Let's see. I got to get my view back. Where is? Okay, I want to check my case statements. I saw I used some underscores in my case statements, and that's just like asking for trouble. Because when you add a new one, something is going to break and you don't know about it. So let's fix that first. I don't know if you want to call it laziness or whatever. Not module. I don't know. These are not my classes. No. These are case tag of. That's the one. Oh, well, that one might be justified. Okay, that's the one I saw in game. All right. So what I'm going to do, The thing that's going to happen is I'm going to add this type and everything's going to break. It drives me slightly crazy. But it's definitely a thing on the Elm side to say, like, the compiler is going to tell you what you got to do. The problem I have is I end up having a lot of stuff to do. But nonetheless, okay, let's make up a tag, order, and then this is ordering puzzle. Okay. And let's see what ordering puzzle even is. Okay. Ordering puzzle says I have a bunch of items and I have an answer, which is a list of the order of the items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a message for success and a message for failure. Now this is pulling it away from that thing at the top here. See, the way it does it, it has the answers are up in here. This one is putting those down in here. Let's try it this way and see if it's a good way forward. It may suggest that the answers belong more in the class below, the puzzle module that we're talking about. All right. So anyway, I do this, and now lots of places are going to break. So let's run. Yeah. So there's just going to be, well, it's not very many, but puzzle.elm has code that doesn't handle all the stuff. Okay. So if I have an order puzzle, I don't care what it is, it really doesn't introduce any new puzzles. Okay, so, or any new answers. So that should be okay. Now, I don't know if we're testing this directly. No. Okay. I mean, it's sort of the default. All right, but the order puzzle, and I would think something else would fail at this point. Yeah. Now we find all the places outside. Okay. So message. You're not going to do that for me. Okay. So, oh, this is another one. I feel like maybe I should just flip these around. And you can take a default, and I think maybe that's okay here because there really only is one puzzle type we care about here. And this is up pretty high level. This is up in messages, so it's coming right from the runtime system. Okay, and then the same thing here. Pull this down. We only want to update things if it really is a dialog puzzle. Okay, more stuff should break. Okay, what else? View. Well, that's nice of you to say so, but there we go. No red bar. All right, so show the puzzle. All right, this gets down to the display of it. So if you have an order puzzle, what are you going to show? Well, for now, I'm just going to show nothing. Okay. I guess I can make it ignore it. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't mess me up too much. Okay, so I'm just trying to get things compiling, and then I can put some actual tests in. Okay, so now we're good. Everybody knows how to do what they got to do. Okay, now what we don't have, okay, so I have the ordering puzzle class. I have it put in here. This is actually okay, but anybody else who uses it, like, what are they going to do? The one I know is missing is this one, because you ought to be able to pull together, you ought to be able to decode an ordering puzzle. Okay. And let's get to a test. Okay, so the test here is saying I want to be able to read an ordering puzzle from the JSON. Okay, so let's see if puzzle type is tested directly. No. Okay, what's the next level up? Puzzle decoder. Okay. Game can decode answers puzzle. Okay, we want something analogous. Game can decode ordering. Maybe it's just ordering puzzle from JSON. Okay, our expected is going to be an ordering puzzle. I think it's going to be, let's change it to order puzzle. Okay. All right, I guess I should, let's capture what we have. So ordering puzzle, make order puzzle a puzzle type. Okay. Let's put this down here. Make order puzzle a puzzle type. Okay, and that's my top message. Good. Let's check that in since we're green. Okay, so a little bit of a test checked in prematurely, but that's fine. Okay, so now order puzzle. What's the matter with that? Order puzzle. Oh, well, he doesn't look like that. I guess this is just order is the tag. Order, and where's our order puzzle? We got some items. We got an answer. Okay. The body is kind, has to be order. The items are these. I'm going to make that failure message. Okay, so we expect to get a proper item order puzzle type, and given this body with the kind tag and the fields, okay, and game puzzle decoder, and we expect some sort of error. And I guess what we're doing at this point, we did that. We're doing this. Test run failed. Game can decode order puzzle. We got okay, no puzzle instead of okay, order. All right. Now game. If you get order, well, I think we want to do kind of like this if we can. JSON.cc order puzzle. Probably because I don't have this other stuff required. And it's all required. Four things. The easy ones, success message. This is items. That's pretty much the same. And answer. Decode int. Succeed room. Oh, the messages for these are horrible. So why would it accept? I cannot find a order puzzle variant. Is it just supposed to be order? Yeah, these messages. Oh my goodness. Okay. Tell you what, we're due for a break. Let's take a couple minutes again, and we'll come back and finish the JSON parser. Hi, welcome back. All right, so something's going on here. I think what's going on, well, partly because I don't know what I'm doing, but we're mixing and matching these parsers, and I'm sure if you knew what you were doing better, you could do that. um, I do not. So this JSON succeed. So it produces the way these work. You're sort of building up this giant function. It's, this is not like go parse this. It's more of a spec of the giant function that's going to do that. And it in the end you've got a base parser and all these other ones, that tag onto it. So a decoder of a type puzzle dialog goes to see they're doing this at the end. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to switch back to the other type and JSON.decode.map to order. Okay, now these, it's got to take 4 arguments. Okay, and each argument is a JSON parser. Okay. You can see why they developed their approach. Okay. JSON decode. Whoops. So we have to decode the field. Field items with the list of decoders and then close all that out. Okay, so that should give us a list of strings. Next field, the answer gives us a list of integers. Success message gives us a decoder of string. And failure message also gives us a string. Okay. And it's still not happy. Did I not import it? What's the puzzle? Answers puzzle. JSON.decode.map. Do we include this? OrderPuzzle. No. Supposing, I guess just OrderPuzzle. I don't know why it just didn't import it, but okay. My hope is this compiles and passes. Yay. All right. Okay, so now we can read these in. There's only one that I can recall. Let's find our dungeon. And we haven't even set it up yet, so it's not composite, it's observer. Yeah, okay, so yeah, even in this one, I just have pushed it forward. Okay, I said, oh, it's going to be a dialogue puzzle, but there's no dialogue, and the answer is observer. Okay. This is the idea is you come up and there's these arrows and um, you're going to arrange them in an order. And let's see. Oh, I have a picture for this. Okay. I guess that was today. All right. So this is, well, it's basically from the design patterns book. Something happened. So you have an observer object and it's got something it's observing as the concrete subject. Okay. You call set state on it. It, it calls notify on itself. Notify walks through all its observers and calls update on each one. And each one can do a get state to find out what the current state is. All right. And so the idea is we would have these arrows and they're in a pile. And ideally, I would drag and drop. But what do we got? 7 arrows? Well, sort of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They. Yeah. So I'm going to give you these arrows in a random order. And you're going to tell me, I don't know if it's A, B, C or 1, 2, 3, but you're going to tell me, oh, order arrow 4 is first, then arrow 3, then arrow 1, then arrow 2. Okay. And that's going to be the order of things. And for now, I'm just going to do that in a dialog box. I started drag and drop and I just couldn't pull it off in my spike, like a 2 or 3 hour spike. It didn't manage to get my case working, but it seems like it kind of could. Anyway, so the puzzle is going to have a bunch of images basically that you're going to have to do. And we're going to show them in the order that you have them. And you're going to tell us what order to change it to. Okay. So let's at least put this in. They're really going to be images, but I think we can get by with strings for the moment. Okay, so if I say this is an order puzzle, then the items well, let's I'm going to say observer 1 dot set state. And subject dot notify. And subject dot update observer 1 dot get state subject dot update observer 2 dot get state. Okay, now we're going to scramble these. Okay, so they're scrambled. Well, that's awkward. Somebody missing one? All right. That's the items. Now we have the answer is integers. Okay, and so position 1, position 3, notify position, oh whoops, subject.update, subject set state is 1, notify is 2, update observer 1, I'm messing something up. Observer 1.set state is 1. Okay, 3. Subject notify. Observer 1 dot subject update observer 1, that's 0. Observer 1 dot get state 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Observer subject update observer 2 is 2, and I guess that leaves 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Well, hopefully that's the right answer. Oh, we don't need this one. All right. And then we need a success message. And a failure message. Okay. Think about how observer I don't know. Okay. That's the stuff. All right. And then for ease of playing around, let's just make room 2C our starting room. Okay. And it's not going to do anything, right? Because it's not there. Actually, let's do one more thing. Let's mess it up. Okay, so if I leave out the success message, okay, I would expect the parser would choke on that. Okay, so let's reload. Bad body problem with JSON in room 2C. Here's a bunch of stuff. I was expecting an object named success message or object with field success message. Okay, so that's just a little extra confidence there. All right. Boy, I've trimmed this photo and I just can't get rid of that stuff on the bottom. Okay. You encounter a portcullis, gate of iron bores. I can probably rework the message, but the basics are there, and then I want to put them in the original order, just one at a time, and then provide the box to edit them. Okay, so what's that going to require? I guess we get to choose whether to work on the view or the message, the command update thing. Read JSON for a new puzzle type. Okay, let's make sure that's all good. Okay, read JSON for a new puzzle type. Let's take this down here. Add arrangement to room. Right answer, message, horizontal, vertical. Well, we're going to, I don't think that's anything. Display the new puzzle type. Let's do that first. Something like that. Okay, ordering puzzle. Display the new puzzle type. Okay, so what we saw here was you got the standard picture and message, but we don't have anything that knows how to display puzzle types. All right, so in our view, let's see, show puzzle. Guess that's where it was. It says, how do I handle an order type? Oh, well, I just display no text at all and I'm done. Okay. That's not how we want to roll here. We want to say, ordering order puzzle and the model. And I'll just default that here for a minute just to get things working again as quickly as I can. This is an order puzzle and a model, and it produces an HTML message. Ordering of puzzle model equals that. Okay. Order puzzle goes here. Oops. And this must import. Okay. This should display the same. Okay, so we'll save and reload the room. Yeah, okay. Now I feel safer moving this down next to all the others. Make options. I guess that goes before that. All right. And I think that seems okay. What's your problem? Okay, good. All right. That doesn't strike me as a very good one either. Okay. Well, in the end, we have to put up something. Okay, so let's just start with a div here and go from there. So a div, and then the contents of the div, that's the tags. The contents, well, what are the contents? Okay, well, we got the puzzle. And we have the items in the puzzle. Well, basically, we're going to have to use the answers to permute the items. And not the answer we have, the answer that the model has. And the bad news is the model has no answer at this point. Okay. And I don't know. Okay. Again, see, actions and guesses correspond to the dialogue puzzle. Multi-guesses corresponds to our multi-guess and, the multiple answers puzzle. Now we have a new one that is it's like permutations. And there aren't very many, so only certain rooms are going to have them. Um, well, a little bit of a chicken and egg situation, I guess. You know, the command is going to update them, and the view is going to use them. All right. So I guess what I'm saying is the view. Well, let's show something. Okay, so I think inside here, let's just do let's just put them in a list. I've never done this in here. I'm gonna do OL and hope for the best. Okay, so in the list, I'm going to have a bunch of list items. So I'm going to run a list dot map. And that needs a function on each item. And the function is going to be li, I guess. I guess lambda x goes to li x text x. String goes to HTML message, takes a list of strings. Let's just take puzzle dot items. Oh, and how am I supposed to do these? That returns a list of HTML messages. Where's make multi-answers? Div that. I guess it doesn't need the brackets. Okay. I don't know. Let's run it again. Okay. So this is more or less okay. Update observer 1, set state, notify that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So what I really want, I mean, this is supposed to be a permutation. Okay. So the permutation should be controlled by the current answer is the deal. And also I should have a box down here, a text field. Okay, so the ordering puzzle, div, yeah, I can put lists of things. Okay. I don't know how you even do it. Just text field. Go look. These are in the HTML ones. I don't know what they would be. There we go. Okay. Text. Okay. Node, no, map, headers. Inputs. A typed data field allowing the user to edit the data. I don't know what that means. A list of attributes and a list of messages. Okay, let's see if we can find Helm input example. Text field. Input placeholder value on input. Okay. It's not the model content I want. Well, it is. Let's just do the puzzle for now. Dot answer. And we don't have an on input yet, so let's not attempt it. And okay. And I'm mostly just trying to get something visible so we can kind of make some progress. Yeah. Okay. Nicely done. I can get commas for free. One is 0. Subject.update. So observer 1 sets the state. Subject notifies itself. Subject updates observer 1. Observer 1 gets the state. Subject updates observer 2. Observer 2 gets the state. Okay. Yeah, something's going on here. Well, that format is not ideal or anything like that, and the display is kind of ugly, but we'll deal with those later. What I would like to do is permute. So I want to say, given these indexes, list the map in that order. I don't think I've seen anything that does that. So it's going to be in core, and it's either going to be like list or array. Repeat range, that'll be useful. Let's try array. All right. Well, what I'm saying is permutation is given an array of stuff and an array of numbers, then display the corresponding item. Let's see how that looks. So if I displayed item 1, item 3, item 0, yeah, so given that list, I want you to look up the item position in the first list and just map these through. Okay. Where does this go? Well, I have some helpers. And maybe it belongs there. It's pretty low level. Okay, so let's start with a test. Alrighty. Permute of an empty list is empty. Okay. So if we create permute, it takes a list of A and a list of int, and it produces a list of A. Do I care about that? Okay, we'll export permute. Yeah, that passes. Okay, we'll stop there. So let me put something in the to-dos. We need define helper.permute. Okay. And permute A, B, 1, 0 goes to B, A. Okay. We will pick up there tomorrow. I think the same time, probably 1 to 3 Eastern time. And I think once we get this permutation in, well, we've got work to do. We've got to get the stuff coming. We've got to put the stuff in the model. So there's sort of like the current permutation for this room, and need to make the thing update when they change it, and it's going to take some parsing and whatnot to read that and do that. So We'll get there. But anyway, thanks for joining me today, and I will catch you sometime in the future, I hope. Have a good week otherwise. Bye-bye.